Boo. I'm not even on the screen today. I'm going to scare you by popping up late. Oh, gotta love it when I am a mess, right? Like, that's what makes me me. All right. Hello and welcome to Murder Mystery Haunted History. I am BB3 and today I am missing my co-host MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless Nettie. She's in the chat though, so you can say hello to her over there today. But if you are new here, we cover true crime and paranormal from time to time. We do deep dives into the history of both true crime and paranormal. If that sounds interesting to you, please hit that subscribe button. It helps to throw us out there in the algorithm and helps new people to find us. If you're a returning subscriber, which most of, if not all of you over there in the chat are, I truly appreciate all your love and support always. So thank you so much for being here with us. And as we cover these true crime stories, sometimes we giggle and sometimes we laugh on Sundays on our show because the chat can be funny and they can joke and it lightens the mood, and that helps sometimes because these cases can be hard. We mean no disrespect to the families when we do that. Okay, I think I covered everything. Now let's jump over to the chat and see who all's here with us today. Oh, let me mention that Miss Nettie isn't feeling very good today. I think she's feeling a little bit better, but she's resting and recouping. So she's going to take the day off today. She'll be back next Sunday. But she's, like I said, over in the chat, so everybody can chit chat with her over there. And if you're looking to find her channel, she's always linked in the description below. All right, so we have Captain Jack in here, bright and early. Absolutely adore Captain. And if you didn't know, Captain is very close to being monetized. He just needs to reach his watch hours. So if you have a chance, head on over and watch some of his playlist for him. As I said, we have MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless over in the chat. Everybody say hello. Thrifty Angela, hello, hello. She was here with us earlier while we were playing video games. Thank you for always being so supportive. Tommy Travels, long time no see. Nettie says boo from the chat. Mildred, hello and welcome. Thank you for always being so supportive. We have Chrissy Mama, also very, very supportive. All of you are. All of you in the chat are very supportive, and I appreciate it so much. It is helping me get closer and closer to my goal. So I can't express how much I appreciate it. Really, I can't. I'm sorry. I always laugh at dismemberment and decapitation. Oh, Shaco. Hello and welcome to the one and only Shakaton. Shaco. How many watch do I have now? I think I'm at, I want to say 2,300 or 2,250, right around there last time I checked. Nettie says, please hit that thumbs up button. Yes, please, please. Captain says, sometimes humor is our psychological way to balance out the horrors. This is very true. Very, very true. You have a playlist I will play to support your channel. Thank you, Mildred. I do. I have a true crime playlist. It is pre-recorded videos because a lot of the time the lives don't actually count for the watch hours as much. So my pre-recorded true crime playlist is a good one to watch to help me with those hours. Unless it's my member, of course, at BB3. All right, let's jump into today's story. It's out of Missouri. Imagine that. And crazy enough, this this whole thing happened a while ago, but it's going viral again recently. Hello, Melanie. I had you playing on 3 different accounts all day today. I hope that helps with the hours. I'll have to check the hours again then, Thrifty Angela. They probably went up. Thank you so much. Shako said, Bobbit memories. But yeah, this story happened a while ago. It's currently going viral again. I'm going to read through all of the stuff that I have, and then we'll talk a little bit more about the case at the end, because there's a few things that I didn't include that I figured we would just kind of chit chat about at the end of the story. And Nettie went ahead and shared the true crime playlist. This is the playlist that, if you're trying to help me with the watch hours, is great to watch, because these will help boost those hours. So anybody looking for a list, this one's the good one. Thank you, Nettie. All right, let's just jump into this. This is I Pronounce You Dead, James Addie and His Double Life. And this is going to be on 2020, I believe. They're going to be doing an episode on this. So if you want to watch that, that'll be coming out soon. But Molly Watson met James Addie, and she knew nothing about his other life. So let's get into the story. On Friday night in April of 2018, Glenn McSparren was driving home from his mother's house in Monroe County, Missouri, when he noticed an automobile pulled over to the side of the road. It was a dark backwoods and a gravel road surrounded by woods with a brook running across it. He came closer, and McSparren noticed someone lying in the road. I want to stop for just a second and say that this was actually the second time McSparren had driven down the road. The first time he drove down the road, he saw 2 cars, and he thought the one car was stuck, and I believe he stopped. Don't quote me on this, but I believe he stopped and asked the person, "Do you need help?" Which was an older gentleman. He asked the older gentleman, "Do you need help?" But he didn't see a second person, and the older gentleman said, "No, somebody will be along to help me soon." And then McSparren went away. But something didn't sit right with him about the situation. He was taking his daughter somewhere, and so he went ahead and took his daughter where he was taking her, and then he decided to go back because something just didn't sit right with him about what was happening. So he went back, and when he went back, this is what he saw, was someone lying in the road. McSparren had discovered the body of Molly Watson, 35. She had been shot in the back of the head from close range once. He claimed that when he dialed 911, he was advised to check her for a pulse, but he already knew she was dead. When police initiated an investigation, they ruled out a botched heist. Watson was discovered wearing her engagement ring. There were tire impressions all over the crime scene that matched a James Addie. Hey, Linda Barker, welcome in. And I'm not sure if I said hi to Melanie, so hello, Melanie. Thank you for sharing it out. I appreciate that. And this is a picture of Melanie and James Addie. And keep this in mind when I describe these pictures and where they're at. I want you to keep all of this stuff in mind because this is going to take a crazy turn. Okay. So this is Molly. I said Melanie. This is Molly and James in Mexico. They're in Mexico in this picture, just enjoying themselves, having a great time on vacation. This is them at the marriage license place, getting their marriage license, okay? A marriage license with her and her fiance's name on it was discovered in the car. The man's name is 51-year-old James Addie. Their wedding was set to take place 2 days after her body was discovered. Watson enjoyed singing, making costumes, and posting video diaries on YouTube. According to her family, she was anxious to marry Addie and had purchased 2 wedding dresses because she couldn't pick one. Will there be a quiz? No, but paying attention to like these small details that I'm pointing out will like make your head spin about like how? Wait, what? When you hear some of this stuff later on. So they started at Disneyland and then Mexico. Just keep in mind that they traveled quite often. They went on these big, lavish vacations. They were reported to be living together. Okay, just keep all of that. Sorry, I keep hitting the mic. Keep all of that in mind. Hope they kept receipts. Wow, that's so sad. Right before her wedding. 2 days. 2 days before her wedding. Okay. And she was so excited about her wedding. She had 2 wedding dresses because she couldn't pick one. This would have been Watson's second marriage, Mally's second marriage. Her first marriage was annulled, but she got pregnant during the split. Following that, she was in a romantic relationship with a former childhood friend, Amber Brady, which lasted roughly 5 years. While they were living together, Watson took a new job at the Moberly Area Correctional Center. That is where she met James Addie, a corrections officer. Brady claimed she found the 2 of them together at a motel. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Mally and James were doing a little cheating at the hotel, and her girlfriend walked in. Mally's brother, Tim Watson, stated in an ABC article that Mally was totally, completely in love with Addie, who had been married 4 times. After 7 years of dating, Addie proposed to Watson, and the couple began planning their wedding for April of 2018. Caught that, did you, Nettie? Yes. She started dating a girl. She was with that woman for 5 years, but that woman caught her cheating, like literally went up to the motel door, bang, 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 knocked on the motel door. Mally opens the door, and James is in there getting dressed. And Amber's like, what is this? It was a terrible breakup. They had a terrible breakup. Blocked each other on social media. The whole thing was over. And she went on to be with James. She was totally, completely in love with him. And they dated for 7 years. 7 years. And then James proposed to her. James proposed to Mally, and they began planning their wedding for April of 2018. Yes, caught red-handed. Okay. I'm telling you, this is going to take a turn y'all ain't expecting. Everybody meet James. Police soon discovered that James Addie was living a double life, and he was charged with the murder. It's evident that Addie murdered Molly Watson. Watson's body was recovered beside a creek bed in the beginning of 2018. Dun, dun, dun. After dating for 7 years, Addie proposed to Watson and the two started planning a wedding for April of 2018. There was a lot of burgundy and gold, kind of reminded me of a Renaissance kind of themed wedding, said Sam Cohen, their wedding planner. From Molly's perspective, it was going to be a beautiful wedding and the best day ever. James was kind of opposite of Molly, she continued. He was very quiet. He didn't show much enthusiasm, and I just thought he was kind of a groom along for the ride. The plot thickens. The plot thickens. She was so excited. Graves Yasiti? I can't say that name. We're just going to say Graves. She was so excited, Graves said. We'd been working on a wedding that was Beauty and the Beast. He's definitely a beast, guys. That was Beauty and the Beast. And so we were like, we're very familiar with doing this very Disney-themed wedding. But even as Watson was wedding dress shopping and invitations were being sent out, her family said they still felt uneasy about Addie. He could never look you in the eye. He could never talk to you directly. Everything was evasive with him, Tim Watson said. He put off bad vibes to everybody. Some reached the point where they told her they weren't going to come to her wedding at all. My last text message to Molly, I said, but you know how I feel about weddings and funerals. I kind of have a thing anyway that I just kind of avoid weddings and funerals, Lindbergh said. Never would I have thought that I would have been going to her funeral that next week instead of her wedding. On April 25th, 2018, 2 days before Watson was killed, she and Addie went to the county recorder's office to apply for a marriage license. Mark Price, the Randolph County Recorder of Deeds, prepped the couple's license and said that Addie seemed perturbed by some of his questions. I asked if he had been married before and how it ended. He was just like, "Why do you need to know that?" Price said. Authorities say Addie claimed he and his wife, Melanie Addie, had divorced and that she had been in a car accident and later died after being removed from life support. Cohen said Addie kept putting off the wedding preparation meetings because he said he had to deal with funeral arrangements. Now, I'm going to stop here for just a second because this is a really big part of every story, everything that I've looked into, and it just kind of breezes over it here for a second. So he is living with Watson. He's living with Molly, right? They've been together for 7 years. Remember, I said they went to Mexico. They went to Disney. They're living together. They're getting married. He proposed to her, okay? The story he told her was that he and his ex-wife got divorced. And then that he and his ex-wife had a daughter together, okay? And that his ex-wife, after they were divorced, right before he's to get married, his ex-wife dies in a car accident and was on life support. And that he ended up having to make the choice to pull the plug on her. This is the story he told Molly. So as he's doing these wedding preparations, just the weeks coming up to the wedding, he tells her, you know, that my ex-wife had this car wreck and she's on life support and I have to pull the plug and, you know, all these things are happening right now and that's what's going on with me. So she thinks these things are going on with him. Hang in there, Nettie. Hang in there. That's what you think. That's what you think. A basalt of the earth kind of guy. Creepy dude. Oh, that's sad when you think about it. A funeral in the same week as what was supposed to be a wedding, right? And I know this is kind of really bad for me to think about, but I wonder if to kind of send her off with maybe a happy thought, since she loved Disney so much, she used to make costumes, like she sewed costumes and stuff. And Disney and costumes and things like that were her life. Like she loved it. I wonder if they went ahead and did kind of a Disney themed funeral as well. Maybe not the Beauty and the Beast theme, okay? But I wonder if they gave her kind of that same beautiful send off. Nettie said he killed the ex. Yep, I think he killed the ex too. Oh, we're wrong. The ex shouldn't be the one to pull the plug. Linda Barker, that's what I would think too. He learned all of this at a convenience store. The ex is alive. I don't know. Hold on. We'll see. On April 27th of 2018, the day Watson was murdered, Conan said Addie dropped off centerpieces and decorations at the venue. He seemed just like he did in every other meeting that I met him. Really quiet, didn't say much, Conan said. And I do recall as we were walking him out to the door, I asked if he was getting excited, and his one comment was that Watson was driving him crazy. It does sound like a mystery novel, doesn't it? Addie was convinced this year of first Addie was convicted this year of first-degree murder and armed criminal action for Watson's death. He was sentenced in July to life in prison without parole plus 10 years. He has long maintained his innocence and is currently working to appeal his conviction. Addie did not take the stand at his trial, but read a statement in court during his sentencing in which he read a love letter to the woman he had been convicted of killing. He also asked for a new trial, claiming his defense attorney was inefficient and ineffective and didn't present all of the evidence in support of his case. His now ex-wife, Melanie Addie, is very much alive and was never in a car accident. She says it was only after police showed up at her door the night of the murder that she discovered her husband of 23 years had been having a 7-year relationship with Molly Watson and was engaged to be married. There is police cam footage. I should try to find that at the end. When we get to the end of this story, we're going to have time because we're only at 23 minutes. We're going to have plenty of time. We're going to look at the police cam footage of the police showing up at James' door, the wife answering the door, James coming to the door, and his whole thing falls apart. He was living with both women. For the 7 years that he was cheating, he was living with both women. I don't know how he did that. I don't know. I can't. How? I remember we talked about how he went to Mexico and Disney, and he was living in both of their houses. Living in both of their houses. I'm blown away that this man was able to pull this off for 7 years. And it wasn't until the moment that the cops came to her front door that she found out her husband had been cheating. It's insane. Insane. I hope my thing never falls apart. Alive and still married. Crazy. What a dirty dog. How does the wife not know this guy was good? I know. Sounds like a minor misunderstanding. And the vacations, right, Linda Barker? I am like blown away. No, he was not a truck driver. He worked as a correctional officer at the local jail. No, and they had a daughter. Him and the wife of 20 years had a daughter, which we're also going to get into something about her too. But let me finish this and then we'll talk about all the little like nooks and crannies I didn't include in this story here. Melanie Addie, the wife of 20-something years, testified against her ex-husband at the trial. She told 2020 that she believes he's capable of murder. He was a pretty selfish person. He could be controlling and intimidating. It could be challenging, Melanie Addie said. It just seemed like something he would do to fix a problem. It was becoming a problem. He was about to be double married. Everything was about to fall apart. He was fixing a problem. Oh, he's divorced now. Yeah, he's divorced now. I think my thing would do more than fall apart. It would fall off. Hey, David. Hello and welcome. Capable of murder. Woo. Payback from the wife. Right. His daughter ended up testifying too, which we'll kind of go over that too in just a second. Okay, so quick notes. And then we're gonna look for that video I was talking about, and I'm gonna make these quick notes. Daughter's shirt. So I believe, if I'm correct, the daughter had like a very specific shirt that she had made. And that shirt was in the possession of Molly Watson. Okay. And it was like a shirt she had made for her dad. And then Molly Watson had it. And the dad kept saying he had no connection to Molly. Okay. And then they ended up finding that shirt. And the daughter was like, I made that shirt. There is no other shirt like that. That's my shirt. And I gave it to my dad. And so that shirt like had a big part of connecting them, like connecting the dots or helping to connect the dots. Then the daughter was able to get on the stand and tell them that she had been taken to Molly's house under the guise that Molly was a friend and was going to make a costume for her. And she just assumed that it was a friend. And then on the day of the murder, the daughter was in the bathroom and the dad was standing there being really weird, she said. And she actually saw her dad do his laundry and use bleach. And so she testified on behalf of like the police against her dad as well. And then to top it all off, Watson's phone history. So Molly's phone history, the day before she was murdered, apparently she had started to figure out that his story, let me go ahead and remove this. His story didn't really add up about the ex-wife, that something didn't seem right and wasn't sitting right. And so her search history was Melanie Addie's name, car accident, and obituary. There was several searches for Melanie Addie, car accident, Melanie Addie, obituary. So she was looking into the ex-wife's death. And of course, she wasn't going to find that because it didn't exist. So they think that she discovered the ex-wife's story was not true. And that's why he did what he did, because she was going to tell the ex-wife and his plan was falling apart. So, yeah. Crazy, right? And how did he think he was not going to get caught? Is what I'm very confused about. First of all, how did he not think he was going to he didn't get caught for 7 years. So I guess he was really good at the cheating part, but how did he not think he was going to get caught at the murder part? One, he shot her with his gun. Two, his tire tracks were all over the place. Three, there was a witness that saw him where her body was. Like, this man is insanity to me. Insanity. And this poor lady leaves behind a child. She just wanted love. And she thought she had it. For 7 years, he had her fooled. 7 years, she believed that she had the world at her fingertips with love. I just can't. I don't know. That's a really hard one when you think about it from like the craziness of the story is crazy, right? But then when you think about it from the standpoint of Mally, it's really heartbreaking. Shaco said, Jack, I'm pulling for you. Capable of murder, payback from the wife and the daughter. Yeah. I believe he was pretty awful to the wife and the daughter, if I remember correctly. So they were both able to kind of get, I guess you would call payback by going up against him. No, don't pull it. 3 generations of men can thank Hugh Hefner for teaching us to hold his magazine up. Oh my God. So Molly wasn't killed by an illegal alien. No, she was not. All right, let me go over here though. And I want to look up Molly Watson, James, Addie, police approach. See if that pulls it up. Let's do James Addie police body cam footage. I've seen this a long time ago, probably when this story first broke. Sorry, I hit it again. The body cam footage of them knocking on James Addie's door. I seen that probably when this story first came out. I can't find that at the moment, but what I did find is the daughter testifying. So hold on, let me pull that up really quick and we'll watch that at least. Okay, here's what the daughter had to say.
Dad said he was going to go.
Oh, wait, why can't we hear it? Oh, you could hear it? All right, hold on. Let me start it again at the... I couldn't hear it. Hold on 1 second. Here we go.
That evening, Dad said he was going to go meet a friend, and he left. And I think a couple of hours later, Mom went to bed, and I was still up. doing homework at around 10 p.m. And that's around the time that Dad came home. He asked me what I was still doing up, and I just told him I was turning in homework. And he walked out. And then a little bit after that, I finished and got up and went to go brush my teeth. And while I was brushing my teeth, he came to the bathroom and just stood at the doorway and then walked back out.
When you were in the bathroom that night, how did your dad act while he was waiting for you?
He looked just really antsy about it. I don't know.
And do you remember if your dad did any laundry that night?
Yes. It was when I walked out of the bathroom and through the dining room, I heard the washing machine going.
And did you smell anything?
Yes, I smelled bleach.
So let's unpack.
Crazy, right? Like, that's his daughter, and she's having none of it. It doesn't look to me as if she is trying, like, I don't know. She doesn't look conflicted to me. She just looks like, yeah, my dad did this, and we're going to talk about it. You know, that's what she looks like to me. I'm gonna fill you in. I'm gonna tell you. Oh, here it is. Here is the. Let me see if I can find the body cam footage. I found that the wedding dress. Y'all want to see the wedding dress? This was back when her YouTube channel was up and running. Share screen. I found the video that I watched. All right. Here was her showing her wedding dress that she was so proud of. I know there's no sound on this one. All right. And then let me see if I can find the, because he had the, footage of the police showing up at the door. In his video. Sorry, I should have had this queued up and ready to go. I apologize. This was her on her YouTube channel. Sorry, guys. I should have had it queued up. I apologize. My fault. Here, let's just watch it from here because I think...
Taking a shortcut across a low water crossing. As he was driving, he noticed headlights just a little bit further on from the creek, and he saw a car. The car was a 90s, early 90s car. It was facing him. It was a maroon, dark-colored car, and it was just there in the middle of the road. So Glenn, he got out, and this guy got out, and they approached, and Glenn wanted him to see because this was a small dirt trail, essentially. It was like, is your car stuck? You know, stuck in the mud? The man said, interesting, no. I'll be here a while. And then he said more things to Glenn, but the exhaust on this guy's car was so loud, he couldn't hear jack shit. Glenn then backed up and drove off another way along these like small little routes and trails between the fields and the farms. Glenn thought it was real weird. And so, 30 minutes later, he drove back that way again. Suspicious about the person and what they were doing.
Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find it. I know it's in here.
She had blunt
I
force
just
trauma
seen it
injuries,
a
and it
second
appeared
ago.
it was apparent just by looking at her that discovered who Molly was. They were able to.
All right, hold on. This is going to drive me nuts because I just seen it. I just seen it. Here's the shirt that I was talking about. That they discovered that was the daughter's shirt. And they were able to link them because that was James' daughter's shirt and it was found at Mally's. Let's start here and see.
James's car. And it was in the garage. Melanie said it was odd for James to keep his car in the garage. It was a maroon Mercury Sable. The tire tread matched the tire imprint found at the scene. It also matched what Glenn had seen when he encountered a stranger on the road. Melanie said that James had left the house on the 27th of April at about 7 p.m. He'd been wearing a blue jeans, a black jacket. She wasn't entirely sure what time he returned at because she was in bed. She was asleep when he did come in. So we can assume it was late enough. Plenty of time for him to maybe run into someone on the road at about 9:20 p.m. And then Molly was found dead at about 10 p.m. James's daughter, who happened to be home at the time, did notice what time he came in at. See, she was working on a bit of an school project there, and she was on a deadline, so she was staring at the clock, and she said her dad came in just after 10 p.m. When he came in, he went and did the laundry.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing for just a second while I do this, and you all chit-chatting. I swear, before I pulled this video up onto the big screen here, and it was a small little video, it literally has them. Here, I'll show you. It's not that important for me to show you guys, but see the police right here? It's a video. I don't know, maybe he doesn't have it in the video anymore. But originally, when I watched his video on this, it showed the police cam video like that, you know, their little body cam video, and it showed them walking up to the wife's house. And the wife answers the door and they ask for James. And then he comes to the door and they ask about Molly. And he says, "Oh, I don't know who she is." And they go, "Oh, we know you know who she is." And then the wife says, "Well, who is she?" And he goes, "Just somebody I work with." And he's like trying to play it off. Something along those lines. That's not the exact words, but it was something kind of along those lines is how it starts to go down. And it was really kind of interesting to see that and then see where the story ends up, knowing that he had been with her for 7 years, you know, and that he still, once the cops showed up at his door, thought he was somehow going to lie his way out of it. Mind blowing. Mind blowing. What's up with that? I love that series. If you haven't watched the What's Up with That series on Nettie's channel, you need to go see it. Nettie, do you have that in a playlist? If you do, actually, Tommy Travels, if you're not busy, do you mind grabbing the What's Up with That playlist? I think it's a playlist, and dropping a link to that for me from Nettie's. So what did everyone think of this today? Of like the twist? Did you expect that at all? Nettie kind of nailed it. It took her a minute, but she got there. I knew she would get there. I knew she would figure out the wife was still alive. But were you guys expecting the ex-wife to still be alive? Kind of crazy, huh? No, I don't, but I'll make one. Oh, you don't have a playlist for it? Yes, please make one. Please. Okay, Tommy, don't go look for a playlist. There isn't one. Great twist. Yeah, that was yeah, I was reminded about it because I got an email today about 2020 doing a story on it. My local news sent out an email that they're going to be doing 2020 is going to be doing a story on it. It's local to me because it's about, I'd say 45 minutes to an hour. Everything's about 45 minutes to an hour from me, north or south. I'm kind of right in the middle of everything. And so, yeah. And so the local news said that 2020 was going to be doing a story on it. So then I was reminded about it. And I was like, that is what I need to do today's story on. That's changing things up. I'm going to do today's story on it. So I went ahead and put it together really quickly because I remembered all the little details. And then so I thought it would be a fun one for today. Laugh out loud. I just saw there isn't one. She's going to put one together. I still wonder about Molly's ex-girlfriend. Yeah, she's been interviewed a lot. She says that she loved Molly very much and that she wished that her and Molly would have worked things out, that she thinks that James kind of had a hold over Molly. And that she didn't have bad things to say about Molly, but they just didn't have a good breakup. Which, I mean, if you found your girlfriend in a motel with a man, probably wouldn't end well. You probably wouldn't want to be in contact with them either. Tommy Travels, I love looking for things that don't exist. Anyone that's still here, and if you didn't see earlier, I brought back one of our old crew members, one of our old YouTube crew members from the dead. Captain killed me off last week. I had no part in that, by the way, Captain. Captain made me die. I died in a video game. He put up a title that said I actually died. It was a joke. I didn't die. And then I brought back Uncle Lisa. Uncle Lisa was streaming today with me. No, he came to my live a couple of times over the last couple of weeks and was yelling at me while I was gaming and trying to tell me what to do in the games. And that was great clickbait. So love seeing Uncle Lisa. Yeah, it's great to see him back again. But he was yelling at me in the chat. And by the time the chat would tell me what to do, what he was telling me what to do, I'd already been past that in the game. And so I talked to him and said, well, if I go live in the morning, it'll still be daytime for you. So what do you think we do that on like a Saturday? And we'll give it a try today. So we tried it today and Uncle Lisa was on screen today. And it was a lot of fun, a lot of giggles and a lot of laughs. And we're planning on doing it next Saturday for anyone that wants to see that and chit chat with Uncle Lisa on stream. We'll be doing it again next Saturday. So if you didn't get a chance to see him live, he'll be live next Saturday. If everything goes well, I will have him live with me next Saturday playing that silly, crazy, scary game again. So just a little announcement there. That was great. Captain has some great clickbait. He really does. Captain is hilarious. Nettie says, "You've died several times." I have. Captain's not lying when he says that I've died. There were a lot of people concerned for you and then pissed at me for doing that. Now, he did put a warning in the chat and in the description. So when he put it, he did put a warning. We had a lot of fun in the good old days. We did. There was a lot of laughter, and a lot of fun times. So, okay, Nettie has a playlist now. She's already created it. So I think we're supposed to kind of steer away from dropping our own links. So if you don't mind dropping the link to the playlist that now exists, that would be fantastic. And then everybody real quick, because I'm going to be hopping off of here. I want you to type in the comments what video or thing you got going on your channel right now that you want us to go check out. Because we're all going to read the comments and see what it is, and we're all going to go check it all out. So I know Captain is needing his stuff watched. He's close to his playlist, or he's close to his watch hours, or he's getting there. So we need to do Captain. Thrifty Angela has been watching people's playlists, so I know that it'd be awesome if we can return the favor to her. Tommy Travels is always supporting everybody. So make sure we're all stopping by Tommy Travels and checking him out when he's got his premieres. I know I'm terrible about getting to everybody's channels weekly, but I do try to backtrack and watch several videos at one time. Tommy Travels dropped the playlist. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And anybody that's watching the replay, please check out the live chat. You'll see all of this stuff in there to support. Nettie says she's got a new video on an inverter install. Thrifty Angela, I've just got a new Valentine's Day craft video out. Good timing. I got Valentine's Day nails. My daughter and I went and did a girls' day, and I got my nails did. Instead of doing them myself, I went and had somebody do them. It's kind of nice. I haven't had nails on in forever. It feels kind of nice. Hey, Chrissy Mama. Thank you. Yeah, I'm excited to have nails. I did put up a video that means a lot to me last night. Thrifty Angela, I know you've already seen it. If anyone else hasn't seen it yet, please go check it out on Tyree Nichols. I just think that he's an amazing, sweet kid. And I did miss a few things. Like I didn't talk about his son. I was pretty upset while filming the video, but I do think just knowing who he is as a person is important at this point. So if you guys haven't seen that video, please go check that one out. I have a new story coming out tonight. The one from yesterday is doing well. People like the moral style content. Both stories deal with death as well. All right. Captain's got some stuff. Go check his stuff out. Hope my nails last until Valentine's Day. I don't think they're going to. So I'm probably going to get another set of Valentine's done for sure. But it's a really hard subject, but something we need to talk about. I've watched the body cam footage and it was rough and sad. Yeah, I couldn't make it through all of the footage, but it is something I think needs to be watched. And update to that story, more arrests have been made, which I am very, very happy to hear. So they are finding more people that need to be arrested. I'm sure that the captains, the people that were above that group of individuals are involved. They had to feel like they could get away with that stuff. They had to have done that stuff before. And the people that were allowing them to get away with that, they need to be charged as well, or reprimanded, fired, removed from their positions, whatever. So, yeah. All right. Well, thank you all so much for hanging out. We'll go check everybody's stuff out. Linda Barker, thank you for always being so supportive to everybody in the community. Just a special shout out to you. You're very supportive to all of us, and I know that I appreciate it, and everyone else, I am sure, appreciates it just as much as I do. So thank you for always being here and being supportive. All right. Thank you, everyone. Wishing you much kindness and much love. I will see you next time. Bye for now.